Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Sing Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.
Welcome to Festival of Trees. The woman who's behind the Quad City Arts for a decade is ready to move on. We'll tell you what's going to happen there, plus what's behind that cool railroad track that you'll see here at the Downtown River Center. You're going to find out more as we broadcast from Festival of Trees in the cities. Welcome to the 32nd Annual Festival of Trees at the Downtown Davenport River Center. We are all ready for the holiday spirit, and we hope you are as well. This is the last weekend for Festival of Trees. The door is going to be closing at the end of Sunday. Now that we've digested our Thanksgiving meal, we're ready to be fully immersed in the holidays, and this is the place to do it. More than 600 designers have helped transform the River Center into this wonderland for adults as well as kids. Festival of Trees is a major fundraiser for Quad City Arts, and this is the last year Quad City Arts will be led by its longtime director, Carmen Darlin. She sat down to talk to us about the arts in the community and what she hopes for the future. So what is the impact as far as Festival of Trees is concerned for Quad City Arts?
Well, where do I begin?
Well, it's been, I mean, it really did start in the mid-'80s.
It did, in
at
86.
a time of economic stagnation at best in the Quad Cities.
Yes.
And it's been a renaissance, and the Quad Cities has been a renaissance, and it's really helped Quad City Arts be a renaissance.
It has. The impact is really twofold. First of all, you look at the motivation for why it started. It was 100% volunteer-driven. It started to fund our Visiting Artists series, which had been going for a decade and plus a couple years before that. And in the school districts, you can see the impact of those visiting artists. These are acclaimed artists around the globe. Many come to town with a Grammy under their belt or two.
Yeah.
And it puts them up close and personal with students who otherwise wouldn't have had the chance to meet a live performing artist, hear what inspired them, how hard they work, etc. So you have the impact of what the results of Festival of Trees do, but then you look around where we are right now and you see the impact of the festival itself. Every design in here, every piece of high school art, everything in this building, this huge river center, was created by someone who wanted to express themselves creatively. And they donate all the materials, they donate their time. We sell it, we keep the proceeds.
Well, and let's be honest, I mean, you think of Christmas, you think of the beauty of Christmas, but you never necessarily think of it as being artwork. And this really proves it wrong.
It's a creative, you say a Christmas tree and everybody has a different vision, and what they create is entirely different. We provide a theme every year in different categories, and then they design around that. And it's very diverse, very vibrant, very exciting to see all the different creations people come up with.
Let's talk about Quad City Arts as well. I mean, you've led it for more than a decade. You're ready to step down. Why is that?
Amazing for a 30-year-old woman.
I know, you're doing incredibly well.
Well, it's not that I'm ready to step down as much as it's time for fresh blood. We're in a creative business. Our work impacts the quality of life in the community, and we not only elevate the perception and visibility of that, but we bring it to life in our programs. Metro Arts Youth Apprentice, the Visiting Artist Series, we do regranting and all of that. And it's just time for fresh leadership, and it's been a wonderful experience for me. I had a corporate background, and to be able to be involved in the nonprofit sector for over a decade and see the impact on the kids' faces and see what we really do in the community has been a gift.
But not only nonprofit, it's artistic nonprofit, and not just art on a wall. I mean, it's performing arts, it's everything. It really has to be rejuvenating for you to see what is being accomplished in the Quad Cities.
It is. Last week we had Mandy Harvey in town, and we'd contracted her before. She was a winner on America's Got Talent, and she's a deaf performer who came to town, worked with a number of deaf students, worked with adults, and she has perfect pitch. but her message is about overcoming obstacles. So not only is she a lovely singer, but bringing her up close and personal to these people in town. While she was here, she saw over 4,000 people in person.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and talked about there should be no obstacles in your life. She said, I'm scared of people. I can't hear you. I shouldn't be here. You know, there's under any circumstances. But so the arts it's not only entertainment or the learning side, the academic side, but it's the experiential side that leads you to be a better person.
Is that one of your proudest gifts to the Quad Cities during your tenure? Is that you were able to bring some of these amazing people face to face with kids as well as the rest of the public?
Let me tell you my proudest experience. Frontline chose the Quad Cities to do an episode on hunger in America. And I happened to find it on TV one night scrolling through, and first of all, it was pivotal that our Quad Cities would be the nexus of hunger in America. The producers are British, and so they searched the country. And one of the 3 families profiled had a young girl who they showed dancing, and she was on railroad tracks actually. They lived outside town. And she said, when I dance, I forget how hungry I am. So I set out to find this young woman. She was 10 years old, and of course they didn't use the last name,
right.
So it was not easy to find her, but we were bringing a dance troupe from New York a couple months after I saw this episode. And so I did what it took to find her family, and I brought them to, she and her mother and grandmother actually came to the performance at Galvin, so it was a public concert. I took her backstage afterwards. The dancers had no idea who this little girl was. And I said, oh, this is my friend, Kaylee is her name. She said, this is my friend Kaylee, wants to be a dancer. And this dancer from New York City leaned down and said, do you take dance lessons? And she said, no, we can't afford them. And the girl said, my family couldn't either. She said, don't you give up. You figured out, I figured it out. Now I get to live in New York and dance on Broadway. That is my single favorite moment.
Yeah, understandably so.
Yeah.
So as you get ready to leave Quad City Arts, what do you see for the future?
For me or Quad City Arts?
For Quad City Arts. Your future is going to be great.
Let's hope. Quad City Arts has a wonderful, ill-defined future because we're not constrained by anything.
Nor should you be?
No, I mean, we're not part of a national organization that tells us what to do. We decide where the rails stop us, you know, and local contributions and grants, which have grown significantly in the last few years, are the only thing that limit us. The community is hungry for the arts. They appreciate it. They don't always know it's called art, you know, but...
Well, do you notice that now there seems to be a greater local focus, whether it's from government officials or from people who are trying to promote the Quad City area, that arts is, and I should probably say arts are important?
Absolutely. We have a big challenge with workforce development. There's a lot of jobs, good jobs available, and the quality of life is looked at, and so that goes to the experiences that can't be defined in black and white. And yes, it is. I think the visibility has risen significantly in the last few years.
What people always kind of forget is that everything here at Festival of Trees is for sale.
Yes.
And all that money does end up in the coffers for Quad City Arts,
Absolutely.
as well as paying for some expenses. How critically important is this event towards funding for the arts?
It's a huge piece of what we do. We don't release numbers, but the importance of Festival of Trees and our ability to deliver services in the community is huge.
That's Quad City Arts Chief Executive Officer Carmen Darlin. Of course, everyone here at WQPT wishes her the very best as she steps away from more than 10 years of directing the Quad City Arts, and what a fantastic job she's done. I want to show you another one of the special trees here at Festival of Trees. It's called the Candy Cane Christmas. It's a white tree with lollipops, and there's candy canes, of course, and you could just say it's just filled with all that is sweet. It won first place in the traditional category of Christmas trees here at Festival of Trees. Well, it's the Thanksgiving Day weekend, and that means there's a lot of activities that are going on throughout the area. And Laura Adams takes a look at what you could do if you want to head out and about.
This is Out and About for November 19th through 25th. Hi, I'm Laura Adams. There's still time to experience Festival of Trees at the River Center through the 25th, while the Herbert Hoover Presidential Library and Museum open their annual Christmas tree exhibit through January 6th. Prepare for the holidays by attending Yule Marknad or Christmas Market in Bishop Hill the next 2 weekends. And the QCCA Expo Center hosts the Christmas Craft Show November 23rd through 25th. Or check out the shopping at the Holiday Event Vendor and Craft Show at the DeWitt Community Center the 24th in DeWitt, Iowa. Port Byron First United Methodist Church is holding their 19th annual Christmas Traditions event December 1st in Port Byron, while the Putnam hosts an afternoon tea and Little Women on the giant screen November 24th as a part of their Literary Heroines exhibit. All Sweat Productions present The Last Waltz at River Music Experience the 21st. Gold, Frankincense, and Myrrh, a soulful musical depicting the Magi, is on the stage at the Edler Theater November 24th. New Ground Theater in the village of East Davenport present Marjorie Prime. The irresistible musical Annie is on stage at Circuit 21 featuring the song Tomorrow, while the musical Pinocchio is also on the circus stage during the day. And the holiday romantic comedy It Had to Be You will have you laughing at the Black Box Theater in downtown Moline through December 2nd. For more information, visit wqpt.org.
Thank you, Laura. Festival of Trees has actually opened the doors to the River Center on the 31st of October. And ever since then, all the designers, all the volunteers have helped put together this amazing winter wonderland for you to see. And it's all thanks also to the Festival of Trees director, Cheryl DeCapp, who talked to us about what it takes to make this special place come alive. So these are the last few days of festival. I mean, you get people coming out all of the time. How hard was it to get this 11-day run all set up?
This is a very well-oiled machine. There's a number of volunteers that have been with Festival and in their positions for a number of years. Upwards of 25 to 30 years, we have some people that have been involved. And so I personally find it very easy as long as the communication lines stay open. Everybody does what they know they're supposed to be doing, and I either check with them or they get with me if we've got any questions. So quite frankly, this year I felt went very, very smoothly.
Well, and I have to admit, you keep adding new things. And one of the things that I noticed is that you've always kind of had a children's area.
Yes.
But the Children's Activity Center seems to be something that really is going to be doing well.
You know, last year was the first year that we came back to consolidate everything underneath this roof.
Right.
So the Reindeer Games, as it's now called, is upstairs on the second floor, and it's right on the path to Santa. So we have...
Makes perfect sense.
It does. We have a number of games, we have craft tables, and we have, they call the Merry Mall, for a little bit of shopping for the little girls and little boys if they want to purchase something up there for themselves.
But yeah, I mean, you mentioned that you brought things under one roof, but it's amazing about Festival of Trees is how many events are throughout the community. There's not a lot of them, but yes. I mean, still, you've tried to include other areas of the community involved in this week.
That's right. We can start out Thursday evening. We're using RME for our Cheers event. If we go to Sunday, we're using the Radisson for our Teddy Bear Tea. If we go to Monday, we have Sizzling Soiree at the Golden Leaf Banquet Center in Bettendorf. Tuesday night we go to Bettendorf down on State Street to the waterfront, and then Wednesday we come back to the Radisson for celebrity lunch. So yes, we've tried to make sure that we incorporate and use all of the Quad Cities, not just the River Center.
Yeah, but when you think of it, the heart is the River Center.
Yes.
You have been in charge of organized chaos for the last month since taking over. What is this, 30,000 square feet?
I think so, yeah. It's a big building.
It's a big building. Is it tough, or is it that it's almost old hat now because it's been going on for more than 30 years?
It's not tough, and it's only not tough because of the volunteers, Jim. We have the people the facility setup crew, these guys come in and they're here, coffee's ready, and the carpenters, the painters, everybody that just knows when they're supposed to be here and what they're supposed to do, and they just come in and do it. And then it just goes from being the ugly gray blank walls to this, since we started on November 1st.
It's amazing, the transformation.
Yeah.
And I would assume that if you miss an hour or two, you miss something different.
You will, yes, exactly.
Tell me what is a successful Festival of Trees to you?
For me, is everybody who leaves here wanting to make sure they come back next year. That's because I want them to have a good experience. I want them to walk away wanting to come back.
And do you get a chance, I'm sure you do, to walk the aisles as well when the crowds are here? Do you look for reactions?
Yes, and sometimes it's very easy just to kind of take a position and go stand. It's kind of like being in the airport, people watching.
Exactly.
Exactly, where you just kind of, take a stand back and just kind of watch and see what's going on, and kind of wander by, and you might pick up a conversation and somebody oohing and ahhing over a tree or a door or anything, or the high school art exhibit. I mean, it's very interesting to see the number of people that come specifically to go through the art exhibit because of their children, their grandchildren that have art displayed there.
Well, no, I was going to say, not only are the children, they get to see their artwork publicly displayed, but you have some people that perhaps don't do that many artistic events at all, and they just do a tree.
Yes.
And they're so proud to see their work on display here.
Yeah, and we're so fortunate that we're able to have the signage that has everybody's name on it. If you were involved with the tree and your go-to person made sure that we got your name is on the signage, so everybody will know that you were involved in decorating whatever it was.
So this is your second Festival of Trees under your belt as director.
Yes.
What do you see for the future? I mean, how do you get it better and better?
I think talking to the designers and seeing what they feel about the event. I mean, because they're the ones that help make this happen. I mean, if it wasn't for the designers stepping up. And I think we need to, as a group of volunteers, that we need to continue to talk about what can we do to make it better. You can't stay stagnant. You can't say, well, it's always been, or this is the way it was.
And it's so easy to fall into that.
It is. It's human nature to do that.
Right.
We have to continue to think of something new, even if it's only one thing. Like this year we added something new. I don't know if you're familiar with we have a new area this year called the Designer Pro Challenge. And the thought process was to engage the public. So the public will vote on 9 trees that we solicited from 9 area local businesses. We didn't, we went around and picked, and it's a very interesting group of different ones. Urban Farmhouse, Fred and Ethel's, New Place in Milan, K&J Living, Elements by Design in Bettendorf, Meant to Be with Flowers, Julia's Floral and Gifts in Silvis, Julie's Artistic Rose in East Moline, and I'm sure, and the Beard and the Bohemian. It's just, we've got these 9 really cool businesses that have all decorated. We provided them with the exact same tree. So they're all working off the exact same platform. And the concept behind it was a lot of people have downsized and they don't want a big tree in their house. So we wanted to go something, we wanted to have some trees that were designed for smaller houses, smaller spaces, and but still have a beautiful tree that you could purchase at Festival. But we're actually allowing the public to vote on, to pick the best of show, so to speak, in the Pro Challenge area by texting. We have, you text tree and the number 1 through 9 to 27126, and you can only vote once. And and then on Saturday night, we will go to the website and figure out who the winner is, and we'll post that on Sunday for our last day on the 25th.
Bringing technology and the public
all
together?
I know. Can you believe it?
You got this figured out, don't you?
I don't know. I'm working on it.
Thank you, Cheryl DeCap, who's the director of Quad City Arts Festival of Trees, and all that has gone on here since they opened the doors for the designers on October 31st. Pretty amazing. And one of the designs we also think is amazing is a little bit of whimsy. It's another award winner, this one in the whimsical category. It's called Positively Peppermint. It's filled with joy and plenty of red and white decorations as well. The Quad City's first family of gospel music now joins us to spread a little more Christmas joy. Here's the Westbrook Singers.
Child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels keep an anthem sweet, the babe, the Son. This is Christ.
The Westbrook Singers joining us in this holiday edition of The Cities. And let's take you to a doorstep, because the first place finisher in the holiday entry, it's a door front called Don't Step on My Blue Suede Shoes. Light blue and white ornaments, beautiful. And of course, you can't forget the shoes at the top of the steps. But there's something else that's here at the River Center for Festival of Trees that captures the attention of not only kids, but adults as well. It's that model train layout. It is actually operated by IMEG architectural firm that's headquartered in the Quad Cities. It's an amazing story of what they do to make sure that they have, let's say, a chance to add to the community's experience during the holiday season. And we talked to IMEG's Paul Van Dyne about what it takes to bring the Holiday Express here to the River Center. This train has been a part of Festival of Trees for so long. You got to be very proud to be a part of that.
You know, we really are. We started over 10 years ago. Back then it was Karen Getz was in charge of the festival.
Absolutely.
And she used to tell me about the Festival Express that she had. And I used to explain about the trains that I had for my children. And one year she called me up and she said, Paul, we're not going to have the Festival Express this year. There was an incident where they couldn't have it. And she said, would you think about setting up your trains there? And so we had a 4x8 sheet of plywood, I think it was, and we made a couple of ovals, and we set up the first Festival Express that we did, as far as at that time, KJWW.
Right. And that's the way I remember it too. Right. And it just built from there. Mm-hmm. You had the little area where people could stand and run the train. That still is going on. What is that like when you see the kids particularly that get to run the train? You
know, we have to get volunteers to come over and run the train. So it's 11 hours a day throughout the entire festival. And it's amazing the number of volunteers we get. We have waiting lists to come over.
That's a nice thing
and
to have.
What they do is they take off from their day at the office and they get over to come over here and run. And there's more stories that are told of watching the children, and not only the children, but sometimes even the elderly that come over and watch the train. And what we have is a recap at the end to go and say what went well. And we tell stories about some of the things that happened during our run. And it's extraordinary.
I was just going to say, if you just think of the smiles and look at the eyes, yeah. I mean, older people become young again, and young kids just think about what the future could be.
They really do. People love trains. You know, there's something about it, and the experiences are they're very, very rewarding for people.
Now, every year it's different. It's not the exact same layout. When do you start working on something like this?
They actually start working realistically in July is when they actually start to put together what the layout's going to be, but they have ideas throughout the year. So what they do is they capture ideas, and then in July they actually start to put together the plan of what it is. Then it's figuring out what the track's going to look like, what the scenery's going to look like. We have to get our rolling stock back in order again. There's buildings. This year we added a windmill. So I purchased a windmill for it. And there's a family then that takes it home and they build the windmill. And it's a huge model, it's a huge project to put it together. But they put it together and then they bring it in. And so each one of those buildings that's over there was built by a group of our family members that took it on as a project.
Well, and let's be honest, I mean, you're a multinational company. You are huge. Why are you still taking part in something like this at Festival of Trees?
Well, this is our corporate headquarters. We started in the Quad Cities. Quad Cities is our home base, and we have a community involvement committee, and we really like to participate in the Quad Cities. We want the Quad Cities to be successful, and we want the festival to be successful too. So it's something that we really enjoy taking on. As a matter of fact, if I told them I was going to take my trains home with me, I'd be in big trouble.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, it's always kind of a highlight, and you're always in one corner or somewhere during Festival of Trees. It is always a highlight, but it's also a bit of a fundraiser?
It is, absolutely. What we do is we thought about it, and one of the things is to watch the train go around, but it's another thing to actually get and run the train. So what we allow people to do is they pay $1, and they get to go up and actually operate the train for 3 minutes. And so we typically get a pretty long line that goes up there, and there's a lot of dollars that come in. that they get to run the train and actually watch their train run around and start it, stop it, blow the whistle, do the whole thing. So it's they get to be an engineer for a little bit of time.
So Paul, when you see the layout as it is right now, you got to have some pride there, of course, but are you always kind of thinking of what are we going to do next year? How do we top it? How do we change it?
We are always thinking of that. And what's the great thing for me is I get to buy a new part for the train, and my wife doesn't really get upset with me.
And that's so important during the holidays.
So that's a good deal.
That's IMEG's Chief Executive Officer, Paul Van Dyne. They keep the Holiday Express rolling year after year here at Festival of Trees. One more treat for you here at the River Center. First place in the Hearth and Home category. It's called Christmas in the New Old-Fashioned Way. Sounds like a song. It's complete with a fireplace display with decorative candles in the hearth and then garland along the mantle top, decorated all over the place, and it looks fantastic. Please find a way to make it out to Festival of Trees. We want to thank Quad City Arts as our host. We want to thank everyone who has helped make this a very easy program to put together and always a special time for us each year on the cities. So thanks for joining us from the River Center in downtown Davenport, on the air, on the radio, on the web, and on your mobile device. Thanks for taking some time to join us. We talk about the issues and experience the holidays in the cities.
Public Affairs programming on WQPT is brought to you by the Sing Group at Merrill Lynch, serving the wealth management needs of clients in the region for over 25 years.